Brian.
Screw it. We're starting.
There we go.
I won't let the slander go on without the people knowing. You want to say something? Say it on air, Sal.
What's up? What's up? Wait, let me put my phone on airplane mode. Just in case.
I don't want you to have any distractions during our podcast, which is
absolutely no
right
distractions.
Now. Can I say something first?
Absolutely not.
You have the same name as my father. His name is also Sal.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's his name is, properly speaking, is Saleh, but I just wanted to say
like Saleh or Saleh.
I forgot you are well versed in this. Say both options again.
Saleh, or is it Saleh?
That one.
Okay, Saleh, yeah.
Yes, the first one.
Salah, maybe.
I want to say like Saleh.
Saleh.
Yeah.
Slay girl, slay.
That's yes, my Middle Eastern roots from my father. But yeah, how are you? How's your day going?
It's been a good day. Checked in with my one-on-one client, checked in with my 8-week strength physique group. Got some good news that I'll eventually share about. So it's been an all-around good day. But
hair
I feel
looks
myself
good too.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And a good hair day.
Everything's coming together.
Seriously, all at once. You're peaking.
This is my peak.
That's great.
I don't know if it's gonna get any better than this.
Let's well, hair wise, who knows? You know, I think we all can like say we've had our bad hair days too. What I want you to do for me, for the people, is introduce yourself, because I did a poor job of introducing you. So give us a little background of who you are for the people.
All right, peeps. My name is Sal Nakhlawi. I am the founder of Strong Her Girls. I'm a strength coach, so I teach women how to be strong from the inside out. And I'm also a fitness model, so I do a fair bit of that. Other than that, I'm a sister, I'm a dog mom, and now I'm on Ryan's podcast.
Well, Ryan's podcast makes the list.
It's going on the CV. It's going on LinkedIn.
That's amazing. What kind of dog do you have?
She's a pit bull. She's like a little pocket pit bull. So like in pictures, she looks like an actual pit bull, and then you meet her and she's like really tiny. But she's like bulky. Like she looks like she can like bench 4 plates. Yeah, she's thick.
She's thick. Like me. I love that. Little pocket size. We love that.
Yes, but can bench 4 plates. We're getting there. Getting there.
That ain't me. So why don't you? So what's kind of like? So you're kind of like a do it all type of person, right? So you're kind of like a. Are you in Brooklyn right now too?
Yep.
Wow, we finally snagged you in one place. Usually you're all over the place. This is great. So let's kind of. I love to paint people's origin stories, because I feel like it makes your CV sound 10 times better when we realize where you came from. So what's kind of like where'd you get, I guess, you know, why don't you just give us like a little bit origin story about like when you first got into like health and fitness, all that stuff, like, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so growing up, I was always like a somewhat active kid, right? Like I would play a sport in school. Like I wasn't the best, but like I played, you know, I did cross country for a while in high school. I also swam, girls varsity, shout out, high school telecommunication arts and technology.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But once I got to college, like there was no like structured, you know, like team sport for me to do. There was like no team, so like I didn't really have a community, so that I really struggled with that. I guess that's how I sort of ended up in the gym and started weightlifting, right? I was like, okay, I need to do something. This like lifting thing looks pretty cool. And this was like back in the day when there weren't like a whole lot of like women powerlifting. So like on Instagram, I'd see like all these like really amazing lifters that are women. I'm like, I want to be able to do that. To this day, I'm still not able to like do that, but like I can lift a fair bit. I can lift a good amount.
I love the humbleness, but let's give you some more credit there.
All right, hype me up, Ryan. Hype me up.
She's strong as fudge, okay, people. She's strong as fudge. All right, keep going.
Keeping this G-rated.
That's right.
In terms of language.
No, you could speak. You could say fuck. It's just sometimes I like to be weird with it and say fudge.
I
Look,
got
don't
you.
let me interrupt your story. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Men are always
No,
interrupting,
stop
especially
it.
men with podcasts. But anyways,
Oh my
I just kind of struggled because like I didn't have a community. I wasn't exercising.
Mhm.
I took like a really heavy course load and I was working like 3 jobs at once. And I just got to a point where I kept gaining weight. And I got really unhealthy in terms of just like my joints aching, like none of my clothes fit me anymore. Like my confidence was like rock bottom. I just didn't recognize myself. So I was like, okay, something's got to change. I started lifting, and then that kind of like provided this transformation in terms of just like I was able to like find self-efficacy and self-confidence and like that daily and like weekly progression, because like the newbie gains, right? Like I went from like just the bar to like deadlifting 2 plates, and that was just like, whoa, like I could do that. Like I'd never deadlifted before. Like I thought if I lifted, I would like my back would like explode and I would die, right?
Right.
Because like that's what the media tells women.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too.
Did your back ever explode?
No, it's still good, baby. We're still good.
Still good
Still
for
still
now.
cranking. Still have a spine.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. You kind of need a spine.
Yeah, need a backbone. Need a backbone in life, that's for sure.
Yes.
But keep going.
Life
Don't
lesson.
let me interrupt you. Don't let us kind
Again,
of
with the
interrupt
men
you.
with podcast interrupting.
All right, for
But
the
like I
first one,
said,
I was hyping you up. Let's be. I was given permission to hype you up. Second one, I don't. You asked me a question.
all right, I'll take it.
All right, please go on.
But as I kept strength training, I started to value like performance gains, right? Just so like lifting more over time, or like doing more reps, or like, you know, just like things that weren't the scale, or like how my clothes fit or how much weight I had lost. Cause like at a certain point I hired a nutrition coach who helped me with that. I ended up losing like 50+ pounds and like keeping it off and all of that. But it was more about that process of just like really showing up for myself, and meeting myself where I was at. That helped me like fall in love with myself, my body, and what it could do rather than like what it looked like or what the scale said.
Mhm. That's so.
And
So you
then,
go ahead. Oh,
oh, I
what?
was gonna say that's how I sort of ended up coaching, because people
Mhm.
noticed that transformation.
Yeah.
Um, right? Like my mindset changed. Like a lot of it was beyond like the physical change. It was just like I changed as a person, right? Like I went from like feeling like weak and like really low in confidence to like
Mhm.
being like strong as fuck and confident,
Right.
inside and out. So it wasn't just like this outer shift, but like this inner
Mhm.
shift. And like people noticed that and they were like, hey, like you're getting like really strong, and like I seen like what lifting's done for you. Like, can you teach me? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm not like certified or anything, but like I can give you some pointers. And it got to a point where I was like, showing people how to lift is like really cool. Let me get certified. So I got
Yeah.
certified, and now I'm here.
Dope. So you had an interesting, so you did the sport thing, but your sports weren't geared towards like, I mean, maybe they were. I'm not sure about how your school did it, but your sports weren't geared towards like getting into the gym and strength training or anything like that, like especially like cross country, and maybe swimming. I'm not sure how your school did like strength training programs, but did they do like when you first started doing sports, was there any intro to strength training at all?
No, we did a lot of like dry land training for swimming. So like running. And
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time I was just really intimidated by the weight room. Like we would
Mm-hmm.
have weight practices, but I would just like not go.
Mm-hmm. I feel it because I feel like that's normally the case when it comes to certain sports. It's like or at least in high school for the people who are doing sports most like I usually did sports because I wanted to like interact with people, make friends and stuff like that. But it came with like when I played football, it came with like getting into the weight room and all that stuff too. So that was like my first experience. But your first experience came in college. Did you go to like a powerlifting gym or was it like at your school gym where you started like getting to strength training?
Yeah, so I went to this powerlifting gym in Brooklyn. So I was commuting from school to this gym to learn the basics of powerlifting.
Mhm.
And that was really helpful because I learned like the basic compound lifts, how to perform them. Um, and then I was able to like compete in like my first meet, and that was like a whole experience in of itself.
Mm,
But I also trained at the school gym, and I would have like gym partners and like friends that lift with me. Just because at the time I was like still super intimidated of like the gym environment, right? Like it was a D1
yeah.
school. So it was just like people that looked like they knew what they're doing, but like looking back now, I'm like, most of them didn't know what they were doing, but like they showed up, they did their thing.
Right.
That's all you got to do sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, half the battle is like showing up for anything. I like how though you had that transition because you went from not wanting to go to the scheduled school lifting for your sports to going to like perhaps maybe one of the most intimidating places is like a which is like a powerlifting gym, right? Because that's like place where you'll see the chalk come out, you'll see people using chains, you'll see like sometimes in some gyms they'll be using like the ammonia to like before a lift or anything like that. So you went from like a complete like I don't want to go to these lifts to like I'm gonna show up to like one of the most intimidating places and like show up for it, right?
I think it was just like the time and the place was right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like finally ready to like do the thing.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So when you started, when people started being like, "Holy shit, Sal! Like, you're a beast. I want to be like you." What was kind of like? Did you have any like was there ever a moment in your mind where it's like how can I transition from doing this to myself to helping others with it?
Yeah, especially with like the first couple of friends that I would like help out in the gym and like seeing their progress over a couple of months or like a couple of years. I would be like, maybe like this is something that I can do as a job
Mm-hmm.
after I graduate. But also like I had like my whole like 5, 10 year plan. I
Yeah.
was like, I can't let my parents down. They like gave up their lives in like another country and then they moved here and then they sent me to school and like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm here, I need to like finish and do that. So it was kind of just, it was always in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm. Where are your parents from?
They're from Morocco.
Wow. So you felt so you because so both of your parents from Morocco.
Yes.
Wow. So you felt because my dad's from Lebanon and he always wanted me to go to like the doctor route or like the route that would make me most financially secure. Like I remember graduating school and becoming a personal trainer, he was like trying to get me into like medical sales and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't want to do medical sales. Like that sounds miserable for me. But did so you felt a similar pressure of trying to like make your parents proud for like the opportunity that they're giving you by like going the path that they wanted you to do, right?
Right. And I did that for a while and it made me fairly unhappy. And I was like, I can't I can't live like this. Let me try this whole like following my dreams thing and see where it gets me.
Yeah. Let me try this whole following my dreams type deal. Did you have was that a conversation that you had with your parents or was it just the choice that you made was all the words that need to be said?
I just made my choice and I just let them know.
Hmm.
I think life is too short to be unhappy.
Hmm. And they're fully supportive.
Um, Not at first, but I think once they realized that I was able to, be like stable with it, then things changed.
Hmm. And I think it's cool that one you're able to find sort of your passion for it, but then also your passion kind of evolved because you're a lot of your content and a lot of what you preach is geared towards like getting women into the gym, getting women stronger. um I guess where does like that or when did your passion develop to be like, yeah, I want to see other women get strong as hell?
Well, first, like when I had like that personal transformation journey, I was like, I think that there's a lot of women who could benefit from this, and I need to figure out a way to share it with them. So I just like started sharing like my own experiences on Instagram and like on my blog and the internet and that sort of thing. Um, but wait, can you repeat the question?
I do that all the time. Like I'll be answering a question, then it's like slowly fizzling out of my brain. I love watching that happen to your face. That was great. I guess I can relate. So basically, let's see if I can remember the question. But when did like this your passion evolve from like I want to get stronger, blah blah, to how can I get other women stronger as well?
Okay, that one's a good one. So when I first started powerlifting, this was like back in the day when there were, a handful of like women lifters at every
Hmm.
meet. Um, and it was just like there weren't a lot of women lifters at powerlifting meets, and then there weren't a lot of women in the weight room. And I think just like the benefits that you gain from weightlifting are just so tremendous, like between the health benefits, like, the mental benefits, all of that. I wanted to share that with others. So I was like, how can I do this? So I ended up getting into coaching and really making that my mission. Just how can I help? Well, I mean, the big goal is how can I help every woman in the world get
Mm-hmm.
strong inside and out? But
Mm-hmm.
for now, we're focusing small, and then eventually world domination.
So, watch out, planet Earth.
Yes.
I love that. So because and I think that's so true too, because I remember early YouTube days, when I would watch like, I don't know, like your classic YouTubers, like the only woman I can remember that wasn't like your classic like Gymshark athlete type of lifter was like Meg Squats. uh and she was like powerlifting, all that stuff, and I think it's really cool to see how that's transitioned so much since, like, I don't know, when was that, like 2010 like era, to like 10 years later now, and there's so many women who, or at least more often now, I mean, there's still a lot of people who, women who might be afraid to go to the gym or anything like that, but there's such a big transition from women who strength train now compared to like years before.
Yeah, for sure. Like it just kind of bloomed. And there's
Hmm.
so many. I think it's so awesome because then you could find, the coaches and the influencers that you most identify with. Because
Hmm.
before it was kind of just like that Gymshark athlete, like if it fits your macros,
Right.
we're doing like a 5 day a week bodybuilding program. And a lot of
Hmm.
people can't relate to that
Right. Doing donkey kicks on the cable machine, all that stuff in your Gymshark
with the
leggings.
close up,
With a close up of the
with the
booty.
close up.
Close up on the booty doing shoulder press. Love that. It's my favorite. Uh so yeah, and I think that's really cool. So what would, like, I guess, what's so if a woman were to want to make a transition into strength training, I guess what are like the first initial tips that you would give a woman to make that transition?
Yeah, so I think knowing that you want to transition to strength training is like the first step.
Hmm.
But finding a plan that works for you, right? And just learning the basics of like the compound movement. So whether it's like squatting, benching, deadlifting, overhead pressing with a barbell or dumbbells or whatever tools you have access to.
Hmm.
Um, and that might mean like working with a trainer or a coach to just get the compound movements down. Cause like once you get that down, then you're able to do variations of the movements. Take advantage of your newbie gains because we'll have them for like a year. And then after that, you'll be training for like
It's
2 years
gone.
to put like 2.5 pounds on your deadlift. Have a great playlist. I think that can
Oh.
really help with like gym intimidation. I have some really great playlists on Spotify, and by
Mhm.
really great, I mean they just include Bad Bunny.
Wow, you're a Bad Bunny person, huh?
I don't know, you couldn't tell?
I don't know. Oh, is that she's showing it for the audio listeners. There's some major acrylic nails going on with some bunnies on the
They're not
nails.
acrylic, they're Gel X.
You're so when let's talk about the nails for 1 second. When did
Oh
when
my
did the long
goodness.
nails get started? I need to know. I need to know the origin of these nails.
Well, I mean, just like culturally, like when you grow up in New York City, you just get like long acrylic nails. They're just
Mm-hmm.
like a girly thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I like getting cute little designs and I like looking down at my nails and be like, wow, my nails look really cute. Like it's a little
Mm-hmm.
burst of serotonin. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they get destroyed after like a week of the gym, but like that like 3 days that they look nice,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So we're living for the three days at a time, where we're like, this Bad Bunny nail setup is giving me life right now.
Well, this one has been on for like 2 weeks now and it hasn't
Okay.
been destroyed. So
Have you how has it not been destroyed?
I don't know. I went to a new nail tech and like she's just popping. Shout out to Twinkle Nails by Jess.
Shout out Twinkle Nails. Jess, wow. She's about to get so much more appointments going through.
As she
Wow.
should.
So how do the nails, I've always, because my thing with obviously lifting, like I'm like, doesn't it just get in the way of like anything?
Well, you don't want to get them super long because then they'll get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
As I don't know, I just lift with them. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a big deal to me. I think
Mhm.
like if you never had like nails or like any type of nail extensions on before,
Yeah.
then you'll have to like adjust and like figure it out. But
Hmm.
I go in, I lift. If they break, I'll get them fixed.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't.
Okay. I just need the origin story because then I think it's just gonna help me understand you better. The inside joke between us is she always like flashes me the nails, and I, for whatever reason, like the long nails just, it's just like one of those little cringy things for me. It's like I don't know what's it, there it is.
Like the word moist. Like when people say the word moist or the word curdle, like ugh.
Curdle. So yours is moist and curdled.
I mean,
Those are your
like
cringies?
they're cringy. No, what's really cringy for me is like when people are scraping dishes, like like before they wash them or put them in the dishwasher,
Uh-huh.
like scraping food, like the noise that it makes.
With like a fork.
Yeah, it's the worst noise ever. Like ew.
Could you do that outside? It's just- Must you clean the dishes now? Oh, I've gone off track. I apologize. So
It's okay.
so some things you had mentioned to, for anybody who's beginning, is to one, try to find a basic program um to get started with, right? So master the basics. I think another thing you had mentioned was uh did you say finding a gym that makes you comfortable? Is that what you said?
Finding a good playlist, but
Mm,
finding,
Bad Bunny plays.
I mean, yes, finding a gym that makes you comfortable, but it's also like, what if you live in an area where the nearest gym is like 5 miles away and that's like the closest gym that you can go to?
Right.
So finding a way to make that a safe space for you, right? Because like a lot of dudes are creepy at the gym, right? Like it's something I
Sure.
experienced firsthand. It's something that my clients experience firsthand.
Hmm.
So I try to like come up with a toolkit to like help them navigate that. So like if there's some dude trying to tell you how to lift and it's like being creepy about it, or like what if a dude's
Yeah.
like recording you, like
Hmm.
knowing what to say, knowing how to say it confidently, or maybe like talking to the front desk staff so they can handle it. Cause like, and it's also just ridiculous that we as women have to deal with that.
Hmm.
I mean, do guys have to deal with that? Do you ever have like people like secretly recording you or like trying to like hit on you?
So I can't speak for all guys. The only thing, so first for the women part, so when I was an in-person trainer for like 7 years, I saw some super creepy things, like guys using a machine that was like in perfect vision of like the Zumba classes, and they'd be like recording it. And then I'd have to go up and be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, blah, blah. But for me personally, I think just because I worked at that gym for so long, like the worst thing that happened to me was like somebody spanking my butt, like some person spanking my butt, like out of nowhere. Um, which was like the, creepy bounds for me, where it's just like this person like completely invaded like my own personal space. But I don't think other guys, like, I think that was just like a unique experience on my part. So I can't speak for like other men, but for sure, like I think women deal with the creepiest slash most unnecessary type of harassment when it comes to going to gyms from what I saw as being as a trainer.
I'm sorry that somebody did that to you at the gym. That's awful. Cause then
Yeah,
you
it's
don't want to go
weird.
back. You're like, what if somebody like grabs my ass at the gym another time?
Yeah. Well, I worked at that gym, so that was
You had to go back.
I
You're like,
had
how
to
am I
go
going to pay
back.
rent?
Right. As probably because the Gymshark joggers I had on, they were just too showed off too much of my curves. I mean, it makes complete sense. I mean, like women go through way more just from being at a gym, from like it is the things I used to see as a trainer was like really, really gross, that you shouldn't have to go through when you go to a gym or anywhere, which is insane. But so I guess, so some things you'd said, if somebody feels like uncomfortable at a gym, is obviously tell, front staff people, make sure they made aware of it. What are some other things that you've might have done in the past, or like you've advised a client to do?
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes there are dudes that will like approach you while you're like actively training. So you
Hmm.
just gotta like set that boundary and be like, hey, I'm in the middle of a set, like I'm trying to train.
Right.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
Um, but then the issue is just I just feel like as women, there's so many things that we have to do to ensure that we're safe because there's like so
Mm-hmm.
much violence against women.
Yeah.
Um, so just like approaching those conversations in a way that you're still able to keep yourself safe from like, like I don't know, like a dude that's like on roids having like a temper tantrum because you're like, hey, I'm in the middle of a set, please don't talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it happens too. Um, so how'd you get into, transition time? How'd you get into sort of the fitness modeling space?
Oh, did I do that? Um, I mean, I did a couple of just like independent shoots for my brand, and I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? Let me send some pictures to agencies, see how far I get.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got a response back from an agency, and it was like a pretty like well-known agency
Hmm.
for sports and fitness modeling. And I was like, this has got to be a joke. But I responded to the email anyways. Like went spoke with them. Next thing I knew, I was modeling for Nike.
That's dope.
Yeah. So moral of the story, just do it. Not like Nike, just do it, but like actually just do it. Cause like you never know, right? Like any opportunity, like
Yeah.
if you don't, worst anybody could say is no, right?
Yeah.
So if there's something that you've been trying to do,
Yeah.
like go ahead and do it. If you fail, right? If it's not a good fit, like at least you know that you tried rather than like getting to your deathbed and you're like,
Hmm.
I wonder if I had sent some pictures to this modeling agency and like what would have happened.
Hmm. I love how you stole Nike's quote though when you first. I
Just
was like,
material
that
girl
sounds
things.
familiar. Just do it.
Nike's lawyers are currently typing.
That's right. Yeah, it turns out I can't post this podcast anymore. It's crazy. That I mean that I think that I think that's that their quote specifically too, like just do it. It literally implies that anything that we've talked about so far is just like, if you want to make that transition to becoming a stronger version of yourself, then you just have to do it. Like, and sometimes it's not going for the most complicated thing. It's going for the basics, or it's going for, you know, like you did, like you just went to the powerlifting gym and you just, you went from somebody who was maybe intimidated in high school to go to your high school gym, and you went to a powerlifting gym, and it made you a stronger version of you.
Exactly. Like, what's the worst that like the gym owner is gonna say? Like, no, you
Mhm.
can't lift here. Okay, cool. I'll find
Yeah.
another gym. Like,
Right. That's fine. I'll find another gym.
you know what?
It's all good.
I'm gonna open up my own powerlifting gym directly across the street from you, and it's gonna be better.
Oh, look at you. Is that a goal of yours to own your own gym one day?
Low key, that has been a goal of mine, and I'd love to like open up like the Stronger Girls gym, right? And just like have a space where women like have access to high quality coaches and can learn how to lift with proper form and like safe form and
Hmm.
just like meet themselves where they're at, and just have a space for them where they're not going to be worried about like dudes trying to record them or like talk to them mid set, and they can just wear whatever they want without people like saying things.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be an awesome. Would it be in Brooklyn, or would it be where would you put it?
I don't know. I feel like I should probably put it in Brooklyn because that's where
It's
everything
the roots.
started. That's the roots. It's the OG. But I want to low key, high key. I want to be somewhere warm. I'm so sick of this weather. Like it was
Mm,
snowing yesterday. A
was
couple
it?
days ago, it was the flurries. Do you go outside?
I don't think
Do you
I was
not leave your
thinking that.
apartment?
I
You're
don't.
looking pale.
Well, it is that time of the year, right? Where I'm only half Lebanese, so I only got half the half my Gen X are white. But yeah, I didn't even know it was flurried yesterday. It was cold yesterday. Why would I leave my apartment?
For your law? Come on now.
Oh, why don't you talk about laws?
Oh, laws. Should I tell them what a law is?
Why don't you tell the people what a law is?
All right, let me lay down the law real quick. A
Okay.
law.
All right. Thank you guys for joining this podcast.
I got more jokes.
Okay. Oh, thank you guys for joining. All right, go on.
So a law is a
Sorry, I
a
almost spilled
law.
water. Go
I
ahead.
need a break. Let me grab some water.
Oh, oh, look at the butterfly mug. Very
Yes.
cool. All right.
And I
I'll have
also got
questions
these
about
really
that.
cool butterfly
Wow.
Yeah, they're like little tabs that I can put on clothes, but they fell off the clothes that I tried to iron them on. Um, but a law is a long ass walk. So I got it from at
What a
Compound
tangent.
Performance because he was always posting about like going on these laws. I was like, yo, what's a law? And he was like, it's a long ass walk. And I realized that I walk everywhere in Brooklyn, right?
Sure.
Like, like it's lively. There's people. Um, you don't have to have a car to get places. Like public transport, trains are pretty reliable. So I would just like walk places and, just like to take breaks between work, just take walks or
Mm-hmm.
even like after eating so I can like digest my food a little bit better. Or like when I'm listening to podcasts such as these, I'm on my laws. And it was just, the name just fit perfectly, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it was like a long ass walk. I'd be walking for like 30 to 60 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And in New York, you could walk like for a really long time and not even know it because there's just like so much stimulation, right? Like you ever walk from like Times Square to Wall Street?
I don't know.
Like
Maybe. I don't know if I have.
it's a fun walk. It's long, but like in the
Mhm.
summer, and you make like little stops in different
Summertime's better.
neighborhoods for
Hmm.
like a little food tour.
I like that. Sounds
Yeah.
good to me. But the only time I don't do my law is probably when it's really cold out, and I'll do my indoor laws. Do you do indoor laws?
And sometimes I'll just walk around the house or like walk up and down the steps or run around with my dog in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I need to get like a treadmill for like indoor laws because when it's
Oh,
really cold, I have like no desire to go outside.
yeah.
But like I know I need to for like my
Mm-hmm.
own like mental health. Because if I don't
Mm-hmm.
move, I'm just like just sitting
Yeah,
there all jittery with all
you
this
get.
pent up energy.
I'm trying to imagine you jittering, doing the jitterbug. So, I agree. It is super super good for the mental health aspect. Um, clearly I gotta get out more so I can notice if it flurries outside. Um, but so things you talk about or things you mention a lot is, getting stronger by putting yourself out of your comfort zone. Um, you know, getting your laws in, right? So not only just to move your body and for the neat benefit, but for also mental health benefits. Um, what would you say is like the most common things that or issues or obstacles that a woman may face when it comes to going after their goals or anything like that?
Societal expectations, right? Like the
Mm,
societal expectation that women should be as feminine and like dismissive and submissive as possible. Um, like anytime a woman tries to strength train, there's typically that, you're gonna, if you lift too heavy, you're gonna like become infertile or something like that.
mm,
Or, you don't want to get too bulky because then God forbid you'll look masculine as though looking masculine is like the worst thing that could ever happen to a woman.
right.
Um, that sort of thing. But also just practical things like eating enough food. Like there's so many fad diets and so many women try so many diets throughout their lives that they've been under eating and under fueled. So, they come work with me and it's hard for them to eat more food, right? To eat enough carbs, to eat enough fats, to eat enough protein, like especially protein. Like
Hmm.
that's to hit your protein goal as a lifter, especially when you're new to this, can be really tough. I'm trying to think other obstacles or struggles. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot. I could
There,
keep
there are
going.
a lot. Well, I think you nailed the most common, right? Is one that like myth that if you start lifting, you're gonna just gain muscle right off the bat, right? Or you're gonna look masculine or manly, right? Um, but we both know how, like you mentioned, like you first start lifting, you might notice like some results early on, but then as you be more consistent, you're like, holy crap, I've been doing this for years, and I feel like I haven't changed too much, but it takes time because building muscle, all these things, is not an easy thing to do. And then also, like you said, like hitting a protein intake is hard for anybody when you're first starting off, especially when somebody tells you like, yeah, you should probably be hitting like a minimum of this. And you're like, what? You're like, I eat maybe 30 grams a day. Like, this is crazy.
And if it's a good day.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Um, so I don't know if you knew this. We'll wrap it up in just a little bit, but the name of this podcast is called These Little Moments Podcast. And essentially why I named it that was just because I went to this seminar and everybody was kind of like sharing like their fears and like just being really vulnerable. And it was like the first time I had admitted, probably to like a crowd of people that I had struggled with like anxiety, depression for a number of years. And I had part of my speech was like, fitness and all that is great, like I appreciate it. I've been doing it for a while, but what I get out of the most is like these little moments of interacting with people and sharing like these stories with others. So my question for you is, what's kind of like some little moments or one little moment that makes you kind of look back and think this is what got me to where I am now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking back to, I think it was last January, where Coach Mike McKenna asked me to be an assistant coach for the USA Level 1 certification.
Wow.
So I'm a USA Level 2 cert. Um, and the Level 1 was my first certification that I got like back in like 2017, maybe like 2019.
Mhm.
So to like have it all come back, it was like, wow, like I really went from getting my level 1 to starting Stronger Girls, improving myself as a human, as a lifter, as a businesswoman, and then helping other women get strong inside and out. And now I'm teaching what I learned to these incoming coaches. And that just really brought it all together for me. And it was like, it was like a 2-day event.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like a little moment, but like when we did like the practical portion on like the Sunday, I was like, this is that little moment.
Yeah. Well, how cool is that though? It's like everything that we talked about. Like you start off as a person who didn't want to go into the gym to now you're teaching other people how to lift.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that moment. And it's
Thank
like
you.
you said, it's like a full circle of life type feeling where you're just like, whoa, like this is like that choice of that I made for myself has allowed me to help other people in a way that maybe you never thought was possible.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that, Sal. So that's pretty much it. So I appreciate you being on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm a listener of your podcast, so now
Wow.
the table has
Full
turned.
circle. Now the
Another little
table has
moment.
turned. And now the table has turned. Oh man. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being on here. Where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me on the interwebs.
Cool.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Sal Nakhlawi. That's SalNakhlawi. You can also connect with me on stronghergirls.com. So strong, HER girls. We have an email newsletter that I send out every week. So get on that and we can chat. And let me know that you found me from Ryan's podcast so I can say hi.
Say hi. Say hi to old Sal. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate you too. This was fun.
This is good. But yeah, that's it. So thank you. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And we'll hop on just to chat a little bit after this. But all right, guys, peace out. Bye.